thank you very much. Actually, I have to thank Pak Dani because that's exactly what I want to say. So whenever you see gas balance, because according to the gas balance that almost annually we see there, we have to be very cautiously. Why? Because you can see that as if in 2019 on 2020, for instance, that we will have shortage. But that's based on a very, very loose assumption. Let me give you.
Okay.
Pak Dani just told me before, and thank you for talking on my behalf. The situation, no, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm also happy that we still have PLN here. The problem that we have, if I may say, and also for Pak Hangga, because you already captured in general, talking about LNG, if you want to talk it from holistic and comprehensive perspective, you have to see five things. Let's say we start from demand. What happened with our demand? Of course, the very first question is, do you really have a very solid demand for long term? LNG business is not like aqua business. At any time, whenever you feel thirsty, you take it, but you're fasting, you don't take it. That's not the way we do this business.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And then prediction of economic growth, that's always number one. But you know, every year, especially if you're talking about, because our backbone is really a power.
Yeah.
But every year, as our system, we do have every year, this is good, we have what we call it RUPTL. It's talking about 10 years prediction, but you can revisit every year. What exactly it means? That's the situation that we have from demand side, because we rely on them. That's demand side from domestic.
Okay.
Another problem with domestics, not problem, another challenge, I have to be smart with my words. Another challenge with domestic is, do we have alternative? And we do have. That's really a challenge for us from upstream. Whenever if you apply what we call merit system, where because we have a potential, how to say saingan in English? Competition. You have coal, you have other water, other source of energy, but you cannot just do it that way when you go to this business. So that's from the
mix.
yes. And now I'm going to the second one. From supply side, actually we do have also a problem, because I don't want just to look somebody else or blame somebody else. We do have a problem. What is our problem in upstream, in supply side? The demand side really want to see, do you really have a firm commitment to supply? We cannot commit beyond DPS system, so this is the issue. Whenever you have the economic fields, but when you go to the business in the very last 5 years, up to that term, although you know that you can supply for another 15 years, you cannot do it now. That's, I think, with all due respect, I really want you to put it down. So let's say because our upstream will go 30 years, right? But mostly we develop in year 20 or 25. So if you only have another 5 years, although you still have there, due to many things, maybe because nobody want to take that, maybe because are alternative, you cannot develop, so it becomes stranded. That's the issue. Am I frustrated? No, I'm still optimistic, although I have to put a very big tone on that. Now let's go. So I cannot supply long term, because you just mentioned about government number 11 and number 10. It says, if you cannot commit 8% on mouth, apa namanya mulut tambang itu, sometimes you know my English not quite good. In wellhead. Or you go 11.5 there for as long as your SPA. But you know, I have a sympathy on infrastructures. That's my third point, because under infrastructure with our PLN, they say you are only allowed to depreciate this for 20 years. How come if you cannot be sure that those things will be utilized for 20 years? So that's another problem. So that's a problem with infrastructures. The second, that's my third, infrastructure side. And the other third point with infrastructures that we have is here. Because when you build an infrastructure for longer period, but you assess all the risk inside, it means you expecting to recover your IRR only with the existing market, with a very huge capacity. Not to mention, maybe they will not take your gas, so we do have a problem. So how will we do this thing? The fourth thing, talking about the gas, I still have another 1 minute, right?
Sure.
No
problem.
One and
you
a
can
half.
have as much as you need.
1.5. The fourth thing is about price economics. We believe actually in price side, from the upstream side, this is not, you cannot just compete this. The problem is you cannot just compete this against market. Okay. That's my point. Why? Because you see our fields, we have a variety of fields. We do have a fields which is brownfield. We do have a greenfield. This is not the way that we compete. Unfortunately, our problem now is they put us compete against me. So my left hand pocket will compete against my right hand because they say, hey guys, I have an LNG there cheaper from the other one. That's me. So they ask me compete again. Oh, I verify another funny things because we have your Pak Dani. Sometimes they put me compete my pipeline gas against my LNG. This is the situation. So they ask me, I have here Pak Nala, he's from LNG. I have another one, Pak Waras from pipeline gas. So which way I should go? Because the problem is we do have only a very limited buyers. Our buyers is only PLN for the final one, or Pak Dani, and he will sell it again to the industry and also petrochemicals. But I have to say, my upstream colleagues here, we actually don't have anymore a luxury of protection because gas outside there are cheaper. LNG nowadays is more like a very liquid. Even PLN now, used to be before, they will put a package. If they put as a package, it means you build infrastructure along with the C factor, the LNG. So that's the problem. So I have to go to the very final one. Yeah. So I have covered this demand side, supply side, infrastructure side, and price side. I have to go to the very last final, in which we share a very good view and similar view with the Honorable Pak Satya Yuda, talking about regulation. You can only live to the market, free competition, if everybody else can enter it. But whenever you are not in the same level playing field, or if it is something like competition, something like monopoly by its natural, government or regulation has to be there. Otherwise, we will feel unfair. So if you regulate the upstream on the price 8%, 11.5%, and you regulate that the electricity power has to buy at certain price, but you don't regulate in the middle. I'm not against what you call market regulation, but you cannot just say that way because we have no other option. So that's my view, Pak. Okay. So this fifth view. Thank you very much. I think I consume more than
no problem. I think before I come to you, Vishal, I just want to quickly jump into Pak Bara. Pak Bara, from how do you see from LNG Pertamina's perspective? Especially Pak Sampai just mentioned that the demand side reliability is one of the part of the issues. Yeah.
Yes, I think everything already explained by Pak Sampai. Yeah, Pak Dani. Yeah, from Pertamina perspective, I see that the issue is in the logistic chains first, and then the others is about the unbalanced demand between western part of Indonesia and eastern part of Indonesia. Whereas in the western part of Indonesia, which is 55% demand is in Java, and then in the other side, that's in the eastern part of Indonesia, there's a surplus of the gas supply.
Yeah.
But the problem is the infrastructure and the logistic chain, how to deliver the gas from the eastern part of Indonesia to west of Java. That's why the very important things that we need to solve is the infrastructure and the transportation cost. Yeah, and that's why currently Pertamina would like to have to propose the solution like we will build like small-scale LNG to deliver the LNG to the scatter, and we will make a clustering system. It's mean like in the eastern part of Indonesia, we have so many island, and then the demand is there, and then we can make it like a clustering, and then we can supply the LNG by only one vessel, and then this is to reduce the transportation cost. And also we would like to looking for another solution, like we will deliver the LNG from outside of Java to Java by ISO tank, like that. Yeah, because to receive the LNG from outside Java, we need to build terminal, LNG receiving terminal in Java Island. That is very expensive and takes time. That's why we would like to break through that. We would like to supply the LNG from Bontang or from other resources by using ISO tank.
Okay.
ISO tank and general cargo to deliver the LNG from Bontang to Java Island. And then in Java Island we can use like a train, yeah, because railway already connected from western of Java to eastern of Java, from Cilegon until to Banyuwangi. They already have the railway of the train. We can distribute the LNG by the train. And also the LNG is like supply driven. If the LNG already there, the market will be they will be use the LNG. But the problem is the issue is about the price. Yeah, because if we compare currently with the crude oil is going down, and LNG cannot compete with the like diesel, like that. Yeah, because the transportation cost of LNG is already expensive, and then we should have the regasification system like this, especially for the industry.